Okay, I didn't actually turn in some of these items. Welcome back to Persona Q2, New Cinema Labyrinth. I kind of want to get my preparations out of the way as quickly as possible because, oh boy, is there going to be stuff happening in this episode. But yeah, the honey flavor lets us make honey popcorn, which recovers 80 HP. That's kind of expensive, though. Now, I am not buying a Go-Her M, because we are going to be forcibly taken out of the labyrinth quite soon after we next go in. Oh, 3 more agility on FemC, though. Yes, I think I will take that. Oh yeah, Haru and Makoto do have lower defense, so let's fix that. Mostly on Haru, because she's meant to be tanky. Yes, I know. We actually don't need them, because we're going to be taken out of the dungeon pretty much immediately. Normally, I am totally okay with people reminding you to bring Go-Ho M's, but in this case, there are going to be cutscenes, and we're going to get a free evac from the dungeon. And that's why I'm not changing my party either. Oh, that would actually be awesome. Yeah, for some reason, she can only ride Johanna in Strikers. And, yeah, no encounters. I still like the way they did that logo. Oh yes, it certainly is. This place has 4 floors, and they're all pretty big, but apart from the first one. Now let's run if we encounter any T-Rex FOEs. Actually, well, it depends, yeah. It depends on whether that agitates them or not. There are kind of I mean, there are certain wild animals where if you run, it only makes them want to chase you, but others who want to play dead, yeah. You kind of need to do your research. Yeah, well, considering the group that we're about to run into, that also has the girls more courageous than the boys, that's fitting. The funny thing is, out of all of those options, Makoto's by far the best, because when the T-Rex FOEs do start showing up, they are weak to nuclear. Alright, so I preferably don't want to get into any encounters. Yeah. Yeah, the fact that Futaba has fully voiced dialogue here, that shows that we're about to get into the thing. Is it Mona? As much as I'd like that to be the case, if you've seen the thumbnail, you know that's not what's happening. Yeah, that's true, even if it doesn't actually work here. Or maybe it won't work. I like how Joker's parrying a sword with a gun. Wow, that guy must be strong. He's beating up Superman. Not to mention the fact that this standoff is a little bit weighted because only one of the two has a weapon that's real. Oh wow, that is basically the Superman thing I was saying before. Oh boy, it's Japanese Teddie! I'm gonna have to endure this for another 50 hours of gameplay. And oh boy, here it comes. Clash of the, to a lot of the fandom, annoying mascots. I consider Morgana to be nowhere near as annoying as Japanese Teddie, though. It's funny how he refers to, like, the group as, Kumatachi. Yeah, so for those who don't know, packing heat is slang for carrying a gun. I like that Kanji's using that here. Oh, you know, I actually just realized something, that if this was dubbed, Yusuke and Kanji would have the same VA. Yeah, Naoto's here is just like, model gun? Huh, why would you have something like that? My one is real! And everyone immediately freaks out. I mean, granted, this is true. All three of these options are kind of great. Ah, damn it, detective intuition saw it for us. Well, you're in luck. The exit to the previous floor is just a few steps behind us. Okay, good. Can you take your sword away from Joker's neck now? Oh no, what is it with all of, like, my preferred ships for the protagonists being in danger in this game? And this would be funny if this game was dubbed, because Kotone and Rise have the same VA in English. I guess that's the danger of having a navigator go into the actual dungeon. They can get hit and poisoned.
解毒に効くような薬は私たちの手持ちにはないわ。
そうか。ここの植物特有のものらしく、俺たちの持ってる薬ではダメだった。
Oh, okay. Well, we now know not to touch the plants.
ごめんね、力になれなくて。親身になってくれてありがとう。それともう一つなんだけど、私たちと似た格好のやつ見なかった？
Aside from FemC, no.
こう両サイドに髪が跳ねてて首にヘッドホンかけてる男子なんだけど、それもごめんなさい。見たら覚えてるはずなんだけど。
I mean, we have somebody who wears headphones, but, they're a girl.
この人たちも仲間とはぐれて。
So yeah, in case you couldn't tell from Teddie's earlier dialogue, no Yosuke. We're not gonna get him until later.
くそ、どっちも進展なしかよ。
とにかく彼女はすぐに処置が必要だ。安静に休める場へ連れて行こう。
そうね。薬もあるかもしれないし、一度映画館に帰りましょう。は？映画館？ジャングルにそんなとこあんの
？To be honest, a movie theater in the middle of a jungle would be kind of funny, but yeah, just come with us.
わかった。君たちを信じてみよう。
I mean, I would say they might need to be worried about this being like a potential ambush, but I mean, they could probably wreck us all in a fight, if it came to that.
不明な点は多いですが、今は久慈川さんの容体が心配です。
よし、決まったな。映画館に戻るぞ。ついてこい。
Oh, I just realized Naoto is referring to Risei by last name basis, but not in the, subtitles. Interesting. Oh yeah, that is actually something that...
無事に帰還したな。みんないるか？
I do remember that actually coming into play in Persona 4 Arena. Certain things with Naoto made a little bit more sense in Japanese, because in Japanese, Naoto consistently referred to everyone by surname.
お、すごっ！本当に映画館じゃん。
信じられない。森は？島は？アンモナイトは？
いや、アンモナイトはどうでもいいから、足いっぱいで気持ち悪いし。新しいペルソナ使い、一気に増えた。赤目並みだ。
Yep, Futaba, you and me both, because I am already anticipating how long this episode is gonna be with all the bios I'm gonna need to do.
ちょっといいですか？その服いつの間に？
おお、クマも驚きのびっくりドッキリイリュージョンクマ。
なあ、これな。長いから説明は後で。
Well, since we've already given this explanation to FemC once, it will thankfully be skipped over in a, we told everyone cut.
今は病人の手当てが最優先だろ。
Yeah, that. You should probably be concerned about that.
ああ、そうだな。どこか休ませられる場所は？
大丈夫。
君は？
彼女はひかりちゃん。私たちと同じでこの世界に閉じ込められているみたいなの。それでこちらの方が。はじめまして。この映画館の支配人をしておりますナギと申します。事情はこちらから見ておりました。すぐに彼女の手当てをしなければ。
Yeah, Tomoshimasu is a way of saying, like introducing yourself, but it's very formal. It's kind of like saying, I am called Nagi.
ナギさん、薬はある？布団や寝かせられる場所も。
Do cinemas often have, like, sick bays?
ヒカリにとっても優しいクマね。
This is way too early to be giving her a nickname. Please shut up, Teddie.
だけどリセちゃん、普通の解毒薬じゃダメみたいクマ。どうすればいいクマ。
I sincerely apologize to everyone who is forced to endure this, but it's just a thing of this game being only in Jap. Like seriously, I mean, no offense to whoever voices him, but I would switch voices to English entirely to avoid Japanese Teddie.
あんたら出会ったばっかなのにいいやつだな。
Just kind of realized that, I guess he's like the Gondor of this game to me, like the one voice in the whole dub that I can't stand.
私もみんなとは出会ったばかりだけど、すごく頼りになる人たちだよ。
Also, I'm inflicted with a strange condition that makes my mouth not move when I'm talking. Call it like ventriloquitis or something.
それに困った時はお互い様でしょ。こんな時こそ助け合わないと。
みんなありがとう。心強い。
ですが毒となると専用の解毒剤が必要ね。私たちで手を尽くしてみましょう。彼女をこちらへ運んでくださる？
Oh yeah, thanks for that, Mark. Wait, what?
お、助かるっす。ってお、あんた誰だ？
マーガレットもここへ来てたのか。
私もいる。
Oh, yep, well of course Marie has to be here. I will say, I do like how, I don't know if, like, this is totally true or not, but I do feel like I have seen less hate for Marie in the fan base these days.
マリーちゃんまでどうしてここに？わかんない。マーガレットと一緒にいたらここに。
I do like her Japanese voice acting a lot. I mean, I like her English VA too, but I do think Japanese Marie fits the character a lot.
また誰か来た。
Thankfully, I don't have to give those two bios, although honestly, I would have loved it if Marie was a party member.
っていうか誰？知ってる？
Let's not say that.
本当？顔広いね。
I mean, you know, she looks vaguely like she could be the, let's just say, older sister of the baby jailers.
いや、青い服のことを言っているんじゃないか。
ここに呼ばれたのも何かのご縁。必然なき事柄は私たちにはございません。
で、結局あんた誰なんだよ。
これは大変失礼いたしました。皆様、お初にお目にかかります。マーガレットと申します。
Okay, you're using Tomoshimas as well, so that shows that you're kind of the polite one in that group.
この方のお手伝いをさせていただいております。
And also kissing him non-consensually in the epilogue, regardless of whether you've romanced anyone. I still don't like that about Margaret.
以後、お見知りおきを。
Like, everyone made that accusation about Marie, but she only kisses you if you romanced her.
私の分は？
自分でなさい。
You don't get an introduction.
マリー。住人とかじゃない。たまたまいるだけ。
Yeah, Marie's actually, no, I probably shouldn't, because spoilers, but yeah, Marie is a spoiler. That is what she is.
っていうか、私もいきなりここ連れてこられて意味わかんないし。
とにもかくにも、今は解毒ですね。薬はこちらで用意させていただきます。本当ですか？よかった。助かります。
Yeah, at first I thought this was an excuse to, like, leave you without Risei for a little while, so they wouldn't so they wouldn't dump a second navigator on you, but nope. Turns out, yep, they're gonna cure her, and Risei will need to also be in the Bio Bonanza.
後のことはお任せください。私もサポートさせていただきます。
私も手伝う。
Seriously, Nagi is so polite it almost hurts.
どうもありがとう、ひかりさん。皆様はお疲れでしょうから、こちらで少しお休みくださいませ。ええ、今のうちにお互いの状況を把握されてはいかがかしら。我々も薬が用意でき次第、そちらへ向かいますので。
私も行く。
わかった。よろしく頼む。
とりあえずこれで一安心かな。
A remix of Persona 4 music, which is probably going to become relevant when that actually does happen in the remake. But yeah, so one thing that I also really love is that a lot of like tracks from Persona 3 and 4 got remixed in the original Q, but the versions in Q2 are new remixes. They are not reused from Q1.
それにしても先生にあんな美人の知り合いがいたなんて。
Oh boy. Teddie, I dare you to try hitting on Margaret. It won't end well. But it will end well for us because we'll enjoy every moment of it.
全然知らなかったくま。 どうして紹介してくれなかったクマ？
I believe Margaret is, like, people actually told me this in the comments earlier, Margaret is the one Velvet attendant who canonically never meets anybody else in their game's party, aside from the protagonist, because the events of this game will get mind-wiped from everybody. But, like as in Persona 4 itself, the rest of the investigation team never meets Margaret.
はいはい、そういう話は後でいいから。
そうですね。藤川さんが回復したらすぐ花村先輩も探さないとですし。
Yeah, I guess they changed this because this is how Naoto speaks in the localization, but yeah, in Japanese, as you can probably tell, she said Kujikawa-san and Hanamura-senpai.
藤川理性
And I absolutely love this. That this is why the Phantom Thieves realize a certain thing.
いきなり大声出さないでよ。
思い出した。あの子アイドルのリセチだろ。
And yeah, the Reset is a localization. The Japanese idol name for her was Risechi. Pretty much the same difference though.
いやー、どっかで見たような気すんなって思ってたんだけどよ。
So yeah, there are posters of Rise in Persona 5's overworld, and they're a plot point now.
私もずっと気になってたが、やっぱそっくりってレベルじゃない。
Of course, Futaba knows about idols.
でもそんなことってリセチンはもう高校生じゃないし。リセちゃん、私たちの高校だよ。今はアイドル休業中だけど。いや、ちょっと待ってくれ。私の知るリセチンは現役バリバリだぞ。
は？
すみません。確認したいことがあるのですが、今年は2011年ですよね。今ってこと？今年は何年だ？
So this is actually kind of funny because Persona 5 doesn't actually have an officially defined year that it takes place in, which is why they're very vague about it, but the calendar lines up with 2016, so it is 5 years after the events of Persona 4.
2011年じゃないことだけは確かだな。
そうだよ。今は2009年でしょ?
But yeah, Persona 3 is a canonically defined date, and bear in mind that all of these were the future when their games came out, except for Persona 5. So Persona 3 came out in 2006 and is set in 2009. Persona 4 came out in 2008 and is set in 2011. But yeah, Persona 5 is set the same year it came out in Japan.
つまり今は2011年じゃなくて2009年だけど、やっぱり2011年?
One thing that I actually think is kind of cool is I'm glad they're using like the Western year numbering here, because sometimes in Japanese culture, instead of saying that, they actually say like Heisei like 10. Like they'll actually go based on the Japanese era, and those, if you don't know how those work, because they're based on the when the emperor started reigning, those can be kind of confusing to translate into Western style dates.
頭がこんがらがってきた。
いや、今年は2011年のはずだ。一体どういうことだ?
So yeah, this is when we finally realize it. We all come from 3 different time periods.
ああ、そうなるな。
Now, I forget if this was... Okay, I think this was briefly brought up in the first queue, but it's way more noticeable here.
まあ、これは新たなる導かれし者たちが。
おお、また新たな美人さんが登場か。
Oh, by the way, I think I should just mention, I am not going to do a Teddie own count for this game, sorry.
エリザベスと申します。少し前からこちらにお邪魔しております。
There is a reason why, though.
私の隣にいるものについてはもう説明が面倒ですので以下省略。
姉上、それはさすがに雑に扱いすぎでしょう。失礼いたしました。私、テオドアと申します。マーガレット姉上、エリザベス姉上と同じ ベルベットルームの住人でございます。
ポップコーン
Please don't try to eat his costume.
そっとしておこ
That is kind of one of this guy's catchphrases.
どうやら私たちは別々の時間からここに呼ばれたようでございますね。
時間跳躍か。にわかには信じられないな。
ちゅうことは仮面軍団はクマたちの未来からやってきたクマ。はいはい、質問クマ。未来でクマはモテモテになったクマ。
いや知らんわ。こっちは猫の世話でいっぱいなんだよ。
誰が猫だつうか世話になってねえわ。ねえ、こういう話ってあんまりしない方がいいんじゃなかったっけ？
ええ、タイムパラドックスですね。何か問題が起きるかもしれません。
I like how they say time paradoxu.
タイキックドッグ？
タイムパラドックス。SF の有名な命題だね。
Well, yeah, let's just sum this up as Sonic 06. Yeah, that's how you sum it up.
過去や未来を改変したら、現在にどんな影響が出るかわからないって話だよ。
どうなるかわからない？
まだ誰もタイムトラベルをしたことがないからね。諸説はあるよ。
Well, actually, traveling forward in time is totally possible. It happens if you go, like, near the speed of light, or, you know, with time dilation in space travel, you can come back and it will be a long time in the future. But traveling backwards in time is generally agreed to be impossible.
元の世界に戻れなくなるとか、存在自体が消滅するとかね。
But in terms of fiction, there are a lot of fun theories. You can really do anything you want with it.
わけがわからなすぎて怖い。
だからあまり話しすぎるのは良くないということです。
Well, in a way, that's fine, because it's already been in the past. It's more the Phantom Thieves talking about their time that could be a problem.
実に賢明なご判断です。
After all, that is why I do not wish to talk about the twins. Oh, wait, no, can't do that.
未来を知りすぎてしまえば新たな災いを招きかねませんから。
Yes, exactly. It's about knowing about the future. So really, anything the investigation team says to the Phantom Thieves is totally fine. Same with Kotone.
そっか、それもそうだね。それにさ、未来は自分で確かめた方が嬉しくない？私も未来を想像したりするけど、楽しみは取っておきたいじゃん。そうだね。高級フィレ肉が 1g1 円の明るい時代が来る可能性も。
Oh, Chie, I'm so sorry, but inflation, you're gonna be very disappointed.
それは逆に世紀末っすね。
じゃあ、ここで君たちのことを話してもらおうかな。何か手がかりになるかもしれないし。
Yes, tell Goro Akechi everything about yourself and all of your history in your personal life. It will not come back to bite you in any way.
え、大丈夫？私たち消えたりしない？
大丈夫だと思うよ。もう起こったことだし。それに、この空間自体が普通じゃないからね。ちょっとやそっとじゃ変わらない気がする。
Yeah, that's kind of true. Also, you know, this is one of those spin-offs that's going to be erased from everyone's memory at the end.
と言ってもな、私たちどうやって来たんだっけ？
確かあの時もいつものように集まっていた。
And so it's flashback time!
OK お客さんいないクマよ。
店員も来てねっす。
誰もいねえっつうのもなんだかな。じゃあ今日も行きますか。
ああ。行くぞ。
On tonight's exciting episode of the Midnight Channel, and wait, what do you mean we have nothing scheduled for this time slot? I'm sorry, boss, there must have been a... Okay, you know what to do. Run the tape. You mean that thing the executive producer's cousin gave us? But those are just reruns of old movies. Just run it!
なるほど。私たちが来た時とほとんど同じね。
メメントスに似た空間他にもあるんだな。すげえ驚いた。
ああいう場所は人の心が生み出すからな。他にあってもおかしくはない。
Yeah, I do like that the Phantom Thieves are finding out more about the existence of other cognitive worlds.
人の心が生み出す空間か。
As long as people exist, there will always be more of these.
だから別の空間にもつながってしまうってことなのかな。
おそらく映画の中だけではございません。我々がいるこの映画館もまた何かしらによって生まれた異世界かと。なるほど。だから我が輩もずっとこの姿のままなのか。
Yeah, this theater itself is another cognitive world, but apparently one where there's no threats aside from Morgana turning into the cartoon form.
クマには難しい話はわからんけど、こんなことになったせいで陽介が一人ぼっちクマ。
I will say, if I was keeping track, this is both a Teddie-owned and an Akechi-owned moment.
陽介くんって最初に言ってたはぐれちゃった仲間かな。ちょっと待って。話して苦しいから。
気持ちはわかるけど落ち着いてクマさん。その無駄にキラキラしてる人に抱きついても花村くんは出てこないよ。
無駄にキラキラ。
ちょっといい匂いしたけど確かにそうだったクマ。それにどうせなら綺麗なお姉さんが。
こちらメギドラオンでございます。
んぎゃーす。
であなたたちも陽介くんっていう仲間とはぐれちゃったんだね。もしかしてあの映画の中にいるのかも。私も仲間とはぐれて一人でいたから。
そうだったんですね。花村先輩も無事だといいんですが。
ねえ前向きに考えよう。こういう時こそ焦ったら負けだし。リセちゃんも花村も大丈夫だよ。自称特別捜査隊の仲間なんだからさ。
ああ、陽介は簡単にやられるやつじゃない。でも仲間とはぐれて心細いはずだ。早く陽介を助けよう。
He must feel very lonely being separated from us, especially me. He has the biggest crush on me ever, but don't tell him that or he will kill you.
先生、クマ復活。陽介を助けることだけ考えるクマ。
いろいろと慌ただしくてすまない。
Except for me, I am deadpan and stoic all the time, and that only makes me even more hilarious.
遅くなったけど自己紹介がまだだった。君たちのことも教えてほしい。
そういやそうだったな。じゃあ自己紹介コーナーと行くか。
Jigo Shokai Corner. Oh, I kind of wish they put that in the subtitles.
どうする？誰が一番最初にするよ。
それはもちろん先生クマ。それ以外に誰がいるクマ？
私たちのリーダーだからね。
Oh, I just realized I need to enter his name now, don't I?
わかった。俺の名前は。
Okay, and this is a problem because, obviously his canon first name is very easy to enter. It's just 2 letters. However, there is definitely not enough space to enter Narukami. How do I fit this? I think I typically just go with Narukami here. It's not acceptable, but it will have to do.
八十神高校2年だ。よろしく。
And now, I have to right a great wrong from my original Persona Q playthrough.
2年。年下だとは思わなかった。ずいぶん落ち着いてるのね。
Oh yeah, the Persona 4 party has no third years. It's the only one that doesn't.
彼と互角に戦うんだ。ただものじゃないだろうね。
Here it is. In my Q playthrough, I did not select the correct option that leads to this legendary response. I am rectifying that now.
俺様、お前、丸かじり。
今後ともよろしく。何かの暗号ですか?
So apparently that is a joke on demon negotiation dialogue from Shin Megami Tensei. But I'm not sure exactly where it comes from. Either that or it's a Persona 1 thing. It's definitely some kind of negotiation dialogue.
お、結構気が合う感じ？つか、なんか似てんだよな。雰囲気的な？
Well, I mean, it's all, you know, self-insert protag vibes. Also, you should thank that for the fact that you have sub-personas.
そういえば、青い人たちと知り合いなのも一緒だね。彼女もテオドアさんと知り合いだったし。
私もワイルドだからペルソナの付け替えができるんだ。二人も同じみたいだね。それにしてもワイルドが他にもいたなんてびっくりしちゃった。
ああ、俺も驚いた。きっとこれも何かの縁だな。
じゃあ次は私かな。八十神高校2年里中千恵です。好きなものはカンフーと肉。
And a lot of people will yell, oh, flanderization from that, but I think she's fine for, like, most of this game. I like her Japanese voice overall. It's pretty similar to Erin Fitzgerald's take.
カンフーと肉?
Haru, you are the one who likes axes and horror movies. You're not really one to talk.
スイーツも大好きです。おしゃれも興味あります。
A gigantic wrong buzzer goes off. That's still one of my favorite lines from the Persona 4 anime is the whole,
My favorite food has to be yogurt, I guess.
You big liar, it's me!
これは安堵の以上のわざとらしさだぜ。
先輩、バレてるっす。
次は私かな。天城ゆきこです。よろしくね。
You know, to be honest, I think I like Yukiko's Japanese voice more than her English voice.
ゆきこは家が老舗の旅館で次期女将なんだよね。確かにそういう雰囲気あるね。大和なでしこっていうのかな。
Yes, I knew they were gonna say Yamato Norishiko the moment that I saw a traditional Japanese lady.
旅館の女将候補なんてすごいね。家庭的で料理も上手そう。
Oh, wait, I just realized the Persona 4 crew can't actually talk about the future and stuff, because Kotone, you're actually gonna meet Yukiko later. That is actually one of the reasons why, like, a lot of people were like, oh yeah, like, no way they'd put Femc in Reload, because they'd have to make Inaba if they did that. Cause yeah, Femc route actually goes to Inaba and meets a young Yukiko.
料理はそれ以上言うな。
闇を感じる。
Yukiko Amagi, one of the few people whose cooking is enough to give people actual PTSD.
じゃ、次は俺行きますよ。八十神高校1年、辰巳寛治っす。
So, the first time that I heard his Japanese voice here, I was like, wait, seriously? That's what Kanji sounds like in Japanese? I really wasn't expecting it, but it did grow on me after a while. Granted, it is very hard to beat Troy Baker and Matthew Mercer. I do really like Kanji's English voices.
リュウジと同じパツキンだな。お前ら気合うんじゃねえか。
あ
あ。なんだよ。
おいおい、なにモルガナにガン飛ばしてんだよ。
Yeah, we're glad that, we should be glad that everyone's memories getting erased, because otherwise Kanji probably would have made an entire line of marketable Morgana plushies years before Morgana even canonically existed, and that would mess up so much.
え？は？ガンじゃねえっすよ。
感じたら浮気はダメクマよ。クマの毛並みだけじゃ飽き足らず。
To be honest though, it would be legitimately adorable if, like, during, like, the time frame of Persona 5, Kanji just suddenly decides to make a bunch of plushes of, like, Morgana. He's like, I don't know where this design came to me. Somehow, this memory appeared, and I felt the desire to make this plush, and, yeah, and then it becomes a huge sensation in Inaba.
わあ！何言おうとしてんだてめえ。いいから次だ次。 ナオト。
ああ、はい。僕は白金直人。辰巳くんと同じ1年です。
So Naoto is voiced by Romy Park in Japanese, who is a, very famous voice actress who played, I think, Edward Elric in Full Metal Alchemist. Oh, that explains why she's often compared to Risei's VA, because Risei played Alphonse. They would have known each other from that. But yeah, many people say that Naoto's Japanese VA does do a much better job of concealing the gender until the reveal. Though I have thoughts on that I'll go into later.
その名前聞き覚えがあるわ。
Yeah, just like Risei, Naoto is also famous.
白金直人さん、初代探偵王子ですね。
Why do I get the feeling that, like, Naoto is potentially on Shido's to kill list?
その活躍ぶりはニュースでもよく報道されていますよ。まさかこんなところで初代に会えるとは思わなかったです。
初代ですか？
ええ、未熟ながら僕も自分の世界では探偵王子の再来なんて呼ばれてるので。
They are definitely gonna withdraw that title one day.
そうなんですね。あと敬語じゃなくて結構です。どうやらこの世界では僕の方が年下のようですし。
By like 1 year, I think.
そう、それならお言葉に甘えて。
じゃあ探偵王子が2人いるってこと？それって超心強いじゃん。
Well, I mean, let's just say that only one of the skills is, like, actually legitimate, but yeah.
期待に応えられるよう頑張るよ。
はいはいはい。次クマの番。
Oh no.
クマはクマクマ。よろしくま。
Oh wow, that was a lot of Kumas in that sentence. So yeah, they localized that as the bear puns in English, which I think is perfect, but in Japanese, he just says Kuma a lot. And, like, just inserts that into other words, even when it makes no sense.
いや、全然わかんないんだけど。
Kuma is bear in Japanese.
あらら、お嬢さん、クマの魅力をご存じない？着ぐるみの中身はイケてる美少年。
はいはい、すぐに脱ごうとしない。 説明しておくと、クマは深く考えたらダメっていうか
Chie sums it up.
たまに中からなんか出てくるかもだけど、そういうもんだと思えば大丈夫。やっぱ全然わかんないんだけど。ここにいないのはリセちゃんと花村くんだね。
Seriously, I just, everyone, like, thinking about it, even despite, like, Morgana, the Phantom Thieves are probably a little more grounded than the investigation team is, and even C's has a lot of fantastical elements, but, like, Persona 4's crew is definitely very weird when you look at it too hard.
リセチーはわかるぜ。なんたって人気アイドルだしな。あ
あ、詳しい自己紹介は後で本人にしてもらった方がいいだろう。
ええ、花村先輩もですね。無事に合流できた時に本人からしていただいた方が早いかと。
そうだな。というわけで、こちらは以上だ。
Huh, actually, maybe their mouths just stop moving after you name them? Oh, wait, maybe it's because they wanna, like, they can't do mouth movements for the names, so that happens. That's weird, but maybe it's not a bug, but a feature.
今度はこっちの番だね。じゃあ、双葉から？はっ！なんつう無茶ぶり！
Yeah, this must be kind of hard because I feel like the majority of the Persona 4 group, except maybe Naoto, are all like extroverts, so...
こういう時はリーダーからだろ。
And off-screen introductions happened.
よろしく。経験もありそうだし、頼りにしている。
回答って聞いた時はなんじゃそれって感じだったけど、話聞いてる間に分かったというか盛り上がったというか、私もやってみたい。
I do feel like Chie might actually do decently, although she'd probably yell about it in public like Ryuji does.
里中先輩には無理じゃないっすか？拳で解決しそうっつうか。
I mean, like, you're any different, really.
私もやる。怪盗やりたい。
Oh, Yukiko would definitely, well, yeah, she'd handle things very interestingly.
天城先輩は潜入作戦中に大爆笑してすぐ見つかりそうですね。
Now, I'm not sure exactly when in the timeline this takes place, but, has Naoto's social link already started? Because she's dealt with a Phantom Thief case.
大丈夫だよ。いざとなったら全部燃やすから。やはり怪盗は向いてないかと。
Yes, she's more like the Phantom Arsonist.
リセ、良くなったのか？
心配かけてごめんね。リセ復活。
So, Rise is voiced in Japanese by Rie Kugimiya, who I do prefer her English voice a lot more, but Kugimiya is a good voice actress. She's actually been in quite a lot of things. I mostly praise her for Kia in the Crossbell Trails games, because she manages to sound like a child and not sound annoying.
私も安心いたしました。でもあまりご無理はなさらないでね。
ナギさん、ありがとうございます。ひかりちゃんも起きたら知らない場所でびっくりしたけど、青い服の人もいっぱいいるし。
Oh yeah, that would be terrifying.
でもちゃんと挨拶はしておいたよ。マリーちゃんもいたしね。
こっちだってびっくりした。いきなり倒れてるし。まあ良くなったならいいけど。
おお、テンプレ通りの見事なツンデレ。
おい、生リセチーだぞ。生のが何倍も可愛いよな。あんとはまた違った迫力っつうか。やべえ。
Ryuji, do not ruin two of my ships at the same time.
そうだ、ここにいるみんなのこととか軽く事情は聞いてるよ。気になることはいっぱいあるけど、とりあえず状況を教えてもらっていい？
そうだな。俺たちももっと詳細な話が知りたい。今の状況把握が陽介を探す手がかりになるかもしれん。
そうだね。僕たちも一度状況を整理しておきたい。情報共有も兼ねて僕たちのここまでの経緯を説明しておこう。
ああ、そうだな。我が輩たちは私たちが知ってるのはこのくらいね。
なるほど。事情は把握した。これからは協力して事態を解決させよう。改めてよろしく頼む。
Yeah, given the introduction in that cutscene, a lot of people expected the Phantom Thieves and investigation team to maybe be a bit more antagonistic towards each other at first, but I am glad they sort things out quickly because, you know, they've all got to be part of the same party in the end.
そうだ、言い忘れてた。私、藤川リセ。戦闘はできないけど、ナビなら任せて。ナビできるのか？うん、そうなんだ。確か双葉ちゃんもなんだよね。一緒に頑張ろう。
Well, Rise and Fuku got along really well in Q1, so let's just hope that repeats with Futaba.
よろしく頼むます。
Oh boy, Rise is probably Futaba's worst nightmare though. I forget how high Rise scored on extrovert on the Myers-Briggs test that I did for her, but I want to say it was pretty high. I mean, it was no Pinkie Pie. Pinkie Pie is the one fictional character that I've tested who got 100% extrovert, but I feel like Rise was kind of close.
アイドルでナビもできるとかスペック高い。
Oh, don't worry, Futaba, you're amazing too.
それにしても彼女の仲間のことも心配ですね。大丈夫ですか？お一人で心細いとは思いますが。
そうなんだよね。気づいたら一人ぼっちで驚いちゃった。でも私の仲間はみんな強いんだ。だから無事に再会できるって信じてるよ。
Yeah, I'd say Kotone would score pretty high on extrovert as well.
クマ、感動したクマ。仲間みんなとはぐれてるのに明るくて。
You know, knowing what Teddie is, this line's actually kind of profound coming from him.
お嬢さん、クマに任せんしゃい。陽介と一緒に探し出してみせるクマ。
Because one thing I will mention is that, shockingly, I don't think Teddie's characterization is that bad in Q2. He has his moments of being annoying and flirting, but he's certainly a lot better than Q1, where I said they took all of his negative traits and none of his positive ones.
ありがとう。みんなのこと頼りにしてるよ。
よし、これで情報交換は終わりだな。じゃあこれからの動きについて確認する。まずこの奇妙な世界から出るため映画の内容を変えること、そしてはぐれた仲間を探すことだ。
わかってるよ。やる気出てきたぜ。
ならば私たちも力を貸しましょう。
またいきなり現れた。
舞台の上では誰しもが何かしらの役を演じなければいけない。そして今の私たちの役は彼らの旅路を支えること。マリーも喜んでお手伝いをするそうです。
は？言ってないし、もう意味わかんない。どうせ拒否権ないんでしょ。まあ何ができるかわかんないけど、やってみるだけやってみる。
それでは皆様、私たちも微力ながらこの演目を進めるためのお手伝いをいたしましょう。詳しくはベルベットルームへいらしてくれるかしら。
ああ、助かる。
それではお待ちしております。
ベルベットルームへ行ってみよう。
Now that another individual with the power of the wild card has joined our cause, your Persona stock has increased to 12. Oh, this has already been over 50 minutes and I still have to do everyone's bios. Yes, we can... Oh, yeah. So this is an important mechanic. We can have two navigators at once. One for combat, one for exploration. So any skill that's marked with a hash is usable by the exploration navigator, and the other skills are usable by the combat navigator. So you might want to build multiple navigator personas. But you can choose the same navigator for both of them. Oh yeah, there are DLC navigator voices, but the eShop's dead. Yeah, it doesn't affect anything, it's basically just a reskin. Okay. So, if we go into stats here... Yep, we actually do have everyone! So, let's begin. Also, yeah, the Persona 4 crew all joined at level 15. So, yeah, the Phantom things are going to take a little bit to catch up. But, here we go. The Persona 4 hero, Narukami, for one, is great in terms of resistances because he starts out with an immunity to curse and a resistance to electricity. Still has a weakness to wind, though. In this game, Narukami is very focused on physical offense, having really good strength and good endurance. Also, his luck is pretty high. That's a theme for most of the investigation team. His magic is actually kind of low though, so yeah, he pretty much does go all in on physical. His exclusive skill is Swordbreaker. This is actually an Etrian Odyssey skill. It has a chance of decreasing physical damage to the user's row, so think like Haru's Axe Guard, except it only reduces damage but it affects the entire row. I can see a couple of values in the data mine. One of them is 50% and the other is 20%. I'm not sure which is the reduction and which is the trigger rate though. So data miner, please inform me which is which there. Other than that, he learns a lot of physical electric attacks. He also gets myriad arrows at his max level, which is pretty great in this game. Leg Reaper for a chance of Agility Bind is really nice. Agility Bind's a great status because it's the one that the least bosses are outright immune to, and FOEs. And it's also amazing because it stops them from dodging and it makes their accuracy terrible. He also gets Elect Link, but you will need a lot of sub-persona setup to make this good. Links are generally best saved for FemC. Also, Mataru Kaja. Unfortunately, unlike in the original Persona Q, he doesn't get Heat Riser, so that is one thing he's lost, but he does gain a ridiculous amount of resistances when his Persona evolves later in the game. So overall, Yu is, he's great. So as you may notice here, Chie Satonaka basically power creeps Yusuke at this point. While her endurance is lower than Yu's, she does have a lot of HP, though her SP pool's pretty bad, not that she needs it. She's one of the characters to have 99 strength by the end of the game, though a lot of physical attackers do. But she has pretty solid speed, 73 at her highest level, along with good luck, letting her use ailment builds to a decent effect sometimes. She also learns Ice Link, in fact even starting with it, but you will need some extra things to back it up. She does naturally learn Ice Boost, but not Amp. Now, unfortunately, she doesn't learn a lot of ice physical skills, and the one who does is not somebody who makes the best use of them, so I wish they'd given her more of those. But she does get some good physical abilities. She also gets True Critical Eye later to raise the critical hit rate of the entire party for 3 turns. Natural access to Power Charge, level 48 is a fairly decent level to get that at. Black Spot 2, Vorpal Blade, God's Hand, just great physical attacks in general, and she also naturally learns Ambush Arts. Given that you want to be statusing enemies a lot, this is really good for Chie's damage outputs. And her signature skill is Counter Stance, which has her counterattack whenever the user's row is attacked. From what I can tell, this seems to be just death counter but cheaper, and that's always nice because these counterattacks will trigger extra link hits. So if you've got a link build going on another character, Chie can help with that. Also, Chie's Critical Eye will help increase the crit rate of other physical characters. So she's both a good supporter and a good attacker. Yukiko, on the other hand, leans far more towards being pure support. Her raw stats are kind of similar to Arn's, but she exchanges a little bit of magic for a lot more luck. So if you want to do ailment builds, Yukiko is sadly better than Arn at that, even though Arn is the one who actually learns ailment skills. But it's in her skill set that Yusuke really distinguishes herself from Arn. In this game, she does not get Fire Boost and Amp. Even though she learns fire skills all the way up to Archidyne, Yukiko is more meant for healing. Her signature skill is Elusive Dance that moderately raises evasion against all attacks, which is kind of nice for keeping your healer alive. She gets Summoner Calm, and Mind Charge, which is okay, but Arn does fire offense better. Wait, she actually doesn't get full healing spells? I guess she's more like ailments then? Salome's Kiss at level 49 though is amazing, especially with Yukiko's high magic and luck. She is a little slow to be using a build like this, but you can fix that. Like, there are ways you can fix that. And Salome's Kiss is a great skill in general, though you might want to use it in boost because it is very expensive. Kanji is kind of another one of those power creep party members. Remember what Ryuji was doing for the entire first dungeon? Kanji is that, but more. He has maxed out strength and endurance at his max level, but the rest of his stats are pretty low. His HP is insanely high, though it is not the highest in the game. That comes in the P3 party. Kanji's skill set is more slanted towards defense than Ryuji's though. He doesn't naturally get Power Charge. He does get Null Strength Bind though, getting more supportive abilities like Armor Destroyer and Weapon Crusher. He also naturally gets Endure, which is good for tanking. He does learn all 3 of the Zeo skills, but no Elect Boost or Amp. The main asset that Kanji has is Machismo Wall, his exclusive skill, which is basically all guard except cheaper. It reduces damage by 60%, I think, of its normal value, and it will take hits for everyone, regardless of row. Just be careful of entire party hitting attacks, because that will cause Kanji to get hit by them 5 times, but often he can take that. So yeah, if you need somebody protected at all costs, bring Kanji. He's more on the defense side, and also for debuffing the enemy. And it's kind of cool how he has his own unique niches compared to the other, slew of electric physical. Atlas, please make a pure mage electric user in a Persona game one day. Those who've played Persona Q1 will remember Naoto as one of the best characters in the game due to her high speed and luck making her excellent for ailment builds. This is still true of this game, however, instant death got massively nerfed, and I'd say Naoto is the one who was hit the hardest by that. Or at least she would be, if she even learned instant death skills at all. Yeah, she actually just entirely uses the Aha and Korha lines now, which isn't bad, but as a magic attacker, she is ultimately outclassed in that role. Okay, looking at this, she does actually get Hammer still, but that's like the only instant death skill that she gets. It is kind of confusing, but again, you don't really want to be using instant death with her because it has been heavily nerfed. I would recommend giving her sub-personas that lean more towards support and status ailments, to make use of that high luck. She does get Almighty skills as well. In a way, she actually plays closer to Akechi does in the original Persona 5, more than Akechi does here. Having Dekunda is pretty nice. Mara Kakaja is kind of decent. I don't know why she learns Broad Shot, though. Her signature skill is Cost Cutter, which lowers skill costs by 2/3 for 3 turns. Now, having to set up a buff just for this, I always found that kind of, Like, I don't really use this skill that much, but it can be useful for things like maybe Salome's Kiss, which is normally really expensive. But typically, if you want to cut the cost of skills, you just use Boost, and Naoto has no shortage of elemental coverage to gain Boost. So it's, in my mind, one of the weaker personal skills. One other asset that Naoto does have, though, is having no weaknesses and resistances to both Bless and Curse. She's a good all-rounder, but she is nowhere near the terror she was in Q1. Also, for some reason, no, you are not seeing things, Naoto's HP is insanely high in Q2. I don't know what kind of training regimen she's been on, but she's weirdly tanky in this game, and I guess that helps if you're going for like a support or ailment build. Oh, but speaking of being nowhere near how they were in Q1, I have been looking forward to this for so long. This right here is the reason I am retiring the Teddie owned count. They buffed Teddie immensely in this game. So in Q1, Teddie's stats were all terrible except luck. And without good other stats, you can't really do much with that high luck. Especially since, Naoto existed and did the same thing but also had good speed. Teddie here has no bad stats except arguably strength and maybe HP. He has solid magic, endurance, speed, and one of the best luck stats in the game. And his learn set is pretty impressive. He gets both Ice Boost and Amp, and some of the better ice skills. For some reason, he also learns all of the heaviest physical ice attacks. I don't know why they gave that to him and not Chie or Yusuke, but yeah, like, the fact that Teddie's still good despite wasting skill slots on those really says something. Also, he learns Summer Rakam, the earliest of all 5 party members who get this skill. So that's really nice. Also having Amrita, which removes all binds and ailments from an ally. And his signature skill is essentially the same as Haru's for some reason. I wish they were a little bit more creative there. But unlike Haru, he naturally learns Line Guard. Now, he doesn't learn anything like any full party guards, so Kanji is better at party guarding. But at base, Teddie can redirect physical attacks into himself with a chance of nullifying them, which is slightly better than what Haru can do. So yeah, Teddie fans, all 5 of you, rejoice because he's actually really good in this game. Like, you can give him ailment builds, you can give him magic offense builds, like, you can really do anything on him besides physical builds and he's good. And now, our new navigator, Rise Kujikawa. So every navigator has a particular specialty, while Futaba has a balance of support and healing. Rise is all about supporting your offense, although Chie March does give you out-of-battle healing. At base, she has Spotlight to let one ally go first for a turn, but also the amazing Encore, which extends buffs by 3 turns. This might not seem like much now, but late game, when you have access to things like Dragon Cry, Shura Tensei, Heat Riser, letting those go on for another 3 more turns, if you're good enough, you can basically extend buffs indefinitely with Risei, and that is pretty insane. Eventually, she'll learn on stage to greatly lower the chance of ambushes at treasure spots, and I believe this actually stacks with Snake Glare? I'm not sure, it might. And then, at her highest level skill, she gets True Analysis, which unlocks all affinities for one enemy. It does cost 5 gauges, though. In a way, this is a precursor to how Fuka works in Persona 3 Reload, but it's a pretty steep price to pay. Overall, though, Encore and Spotlight are the main things you want from Risei. If you're running a more offensive party, she is incredible, especially Encore, I just have to keep mentioning that. Yeah, that was a lot of bios. And, yeah, I think I should call things for now. Next time, we'll go to the Velvet Room and get even more tutorials, and hopefully we'll be going back into the Labyrinth and, seeing how things go with this amazing new party. I love how Joker and you are just eating popcorn there, and, Femsi is just watching and cheering them on. See you all next time, everyone.